Colin, we are live.
We are
Live.
live for the first
And
time ever.
for the first time ever. So bear with us, ladies and gentlemen. Who knows what's going to happen on this show? Maybe we'll even have some people tuning in to watch. Right now, there are 0 viewers, but this is a new thing for us.
That's
So
right.
maybe, just maybe, somebody will chime in here and pop in and say hi to us in our chat. But otherwise, they can watch it after the fact because it will stay on the channel. How's it going, man?
It's going good. Going good. We just went to some agent open houses this morning.
Yep, Wednesday mornings we have what is called agent open houses. What is an agent open house, Colin?
Well, it's where if an agent has a new listing coming to market that week, all of the local agents get a chance to check out the properties on Wednesday mornings and just kind of get a sneak peek as to what they look like. And when we have clients in the hopper, we can kind of vet the property, see if it's something that would be suitable for our clients.
Now, can you ever think of a scenario where you would not do an agent open house?
I cannot. Can you?
Yes, because I have one that just got listed. I have 106 Wilkinson currently listed. It is a huge house on the lake with an amazing video tour that would show you what you basically need to know about the property. It could be a valuable thing. Sometimes the clients aren't crazy about, open houses or agent open houses. So that's kind of the scenario here. We're not
Right.
trying to take a ton of people through there. It is for this market, at $750,000 listing is near the top of the mark. So as far as listings go in Portage, La Prairie, that is within the top 2 currently of price points for any listings. Now, that would be the scenario where you might just not do that. I mean, there's not a tremendous amount of buyers for
that range,
property of that level, right? Which is also, this is a good segue because we're going to talk about some basic marketing stuff. And I mentioned video. So for those of you looking to list a property, this is more for you, more from the selling perspective, because we're going to talk about what we do, what we should be doing, and what is maybe uncommon in this particular industry. So you as a newer agent, what would be on your checklist for your average list?
Here's a little live thing happening. I could tell my Roomba's in the next room and it's hung up on a phone charging cord or something.
Oh my God.
So I just texted my wife quickly to go and take care of that because I can just hear it chewing away. Yes.
Okay,
yes, she's
good.
at home. We went out last night, so she took today off. So
I was going to actually suggest you go do it, and while you were gone, I was going to talk all kinds of crap about golf.
That's fair. Sorry, carry on about the.
My question to you was: you got a new listing. As a newer agent, what is on your must-do list as far as marketing that home?
Well, I feel like a video is important, and I'm talking a real video, not making a video out of the listing photos into a flip book. You need a real video. You need to be able to showcase that house properly. I know that I've found it helpful so far when I've had listings to also have videos and drone footage of the property itself, because although a lot of the focus is on the house, sometimes properties can be an excellent selling feature as well. Like you said, you're listing on Wilkinson. I mean, I've seen that property, and I know that the property itself is half the feature of the house of the property, right? So
so I guess I'll start from this, and this will actually segue into the researching a realtor topic, but because we're not nearly closed on this topic of basic marketing, but there is a segue that happens in here, because when I say this, I mean, I think that the standard, and this is a low standard, The standard for a lot of listings is photos, put it on the MLS, sign in the yard. That is the very basic thing that you can do as a realtor. Everybody does that. You shouldn't stop at that, in my opinion.
I agree.
That is the old standard of, you know, what you're doing. And that is like the bare minimum. So even though we talk about that being the bare minimum, I firmly believe that no realtor should take their own photos.
I agree. It is painfully obvious when you check out a new listing and you can tell that all of these photos were done on a cell phone. Painfully obvious.
Yes. Now, there are very few scenarios where, you know, I would pull out a cell phone and take a picture. The one time I would do it would be, let's say a home was almost to the point of being hoarder-ish. And then that room all of a sudden was cleaned out. You might snap one picture and replace that picture online.
Yeah. Well,
that is, go ahead.
I'll just give you another scenario that I happen to use. I had a listing go up in April, end of April, and the photos of the front of the house and some photos of the property showed a little bit of snow buildup still, some brown grass, you know, and the listing was still active into the end of June, early July, and now we have nice green grass, we have flowers growing, you know. So I did take a couple photos with my phone just to replace those ones that showed the outdated season, because obviously a property is far more appealing when the grass is nice and bright green and the flowers are blooming, as opposed to some snow and gravel on the curb, you know, from the
Right.
sand trucks throughout the winter and whatnot.
Yeah, seasonal photos are important. In fact, at a previous brokerage, right when I first started, the owner of the brokerage would stress that when the snow melted, get new pictures.
Right. Makes sense.
Or and vice versa, of course. You know,
Yeah.
from green grass to snow on the ground, take new pictures. And hopefully you don't go through that cycle with the same property a couple times.
Yeah, here's hoping.
Yeah. So getting into that, get professional photography, and you should also be checking to see that your realtor gets professional photography. I've seen some photos pop up lately that were just, I'm going to try to not be critical. I was going to pull up some listings from other markets, but I'm not going to do that either. You can tell when somebody's not using a professional. Now, maybe a realtor does really have a talent for that, and that's okay. But that's pretty rare. Get someone else's opinion that you can trust.
Well, and the other thing, when you talk about the bare minimum, you know, sign in the yard, photos, listing up on MLS, and also a description of the home and the property, right? And AI is obviously a major factor in everything we do today. But you can tell when AI, sometimes you can tell when the remarks have been written by AI and then not reviewed by the realtor before they post the listing.
Yes. Yeah.
You know, you have some spelling mistakes. You know, AI will often throw in the word urban oasis, you know, stuff like that, where it just doesn't apply to the property you're trying to sell.
Sometimes AI gets it wrong, and they'll use American spellings of words or things
Right.
like that. Yeah. That's a good point. So if you just feed it all into ChatGPT and hit enter, you'll get a good description. It'll sound amazing, but it might not apply to the property.
Right.
Yeah. So you got to be careful with that. I still see some three-liners out there. I'm happy to say that in Portage Prairie, I don't think there are any agents that don't put a really good effort into their listing write-ups.
I agree.
Yeah. When I've been in outside markets, it's like 3 lines, like call your favorite realtor, come check it out. You know, like,
Right.
That's could use a little more meat on the bone there.
Yeah.
And actually, on the MLS, I don't know, a lot of people might not realize this, but there's a 50 photo limit. So it used to, when I first started, it was 20. You only were allowed 20 photos. Imagine showing like 106 Wilkinson that's over 3,000 square feet, and you have 20 photos.
20 photos.
That's insane. Like 50 is almost not enough either. 50 didn't even give us enough room to put pictures of the basement.
Right.
Yeah. So, I mean, video is important.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, professional video as well. And like you said, no flipbook type videos. Aside from that, I mean, their social media is free.
Yeah.
So get on there. But, I've seen realtors, they're using the local classifieds like Hello Goodbye. They're using Facebook Marketplace, Kijiji. What's the other one? Facebook Marketplace, Kijiji. Oh, yes. Google Business. So I have, yeah, there's all kinds of tips, tricks, other things, but also not just, this is also an opportunity to build yourself and your presence and your own marketing.
Right, your own brand. Yeah.
Being in your videos and actually saying something about the property is important. You look at some of the biggest realtors in Winnipeg, and a lot of them put themselves out there big time in those videos. I mean, look at, I watch, some of them I watch, just, I can't wait till they come out with a new video. As long as they're not overshadowing the property, but, I watch Jesse a lot. I watch Ed Dale. I watch Nicole Huckalt. Because they put out interesting stuff and they really market themselves at the same time as they're marketing the property.
Yeah.
I'm starting to dabble in that. Hey?
Jamie.
Oh, Jamie's my favorite, man.
Yeah, like, I love watching his videos.
Riding a bicycle through Starbucks or taking a skateboard tour through a trailer park.
Yeah. And the whole video, at the end of it, you realize, I think I want to buy that house, but then you realize
you haven't seen it.
Never even had the house in the video.
Yeah, didn't even see the house, but you want to buy it. Well, that's genius right there. Like he's but he'll get the call from somebody listing their house in the areas he works in. He'll get the call.
Yeah.
And they already know what to expect. He's a guy that shows up and he's wearing, a tank top. If he has a shirt on at all, like it's great. Yeah. I don't know if we do well with that around here, but
well, not with the shape I'm in.
So we have that segues a little bit into researching a realtor, and I don't mean like, well, I mean, yeah, Google reviews are important, things like that, and find out if they got a good reputation there, if they've got integrity, they have success, but also what are they doing to market? So the days should be over of using a realtor because that's who your dad used, that's who your grandfather used.
Exactly.
It should be going towards, what is this person actually doing? Because you can really be successful in this business without doing much, based on legacy and people who know, like, and trust you, and personal relationships. Networking is important, but make sure somebody's really trying to sell that property of yours too.
Right.
The other thing, William, what I like to do is paid advertising on Instagram and Facebook for sure.
Yep. Well, and like I think it's important that, word of mouth is still one of the best forms of advertising, right? And when you have a good experience with someone, whether it's in our line of work in real estate, or whether it's your doctor or your chiropractor or anything like that, word of mouth is an excellent form of advertising, but it can also be your worst enemy, right? So you better make sure you are on the ball, you are doing your job, because if you are in a situation where you've given someone poor service and they've had a terrible experience working with you, well, again, word of mouth is the best way to to get your name out there, and so you want to make sure it's out there for the right reasons.
Well, you know what, that would lead me into a topic for another day too, which is being able to identify when you're just not the right fit for somebody. That's important, because you can tell sometimes when, you know, this relationship is not going to go meet either one of our expectations. You can identify that, and it's hard to say that that's a thing, or that we need to, you know, maybe find someone else, but it's valuable.
Yeah, absolutely. And because again, your reputation relies on it, right? So if you get into a situation where you are not the right fit for this client, and they're not the right fit for you, you know that the outcome is not going to be good.
Yeah.
Right. And so the feedback that they're going to give their friends and family is, well, Colin, or well, Ryan, you know, he didn't do what I wanted him to do. You know, even though as realtors, we probably should have identified that in the first place.
Yeah. And it should be upfront. Like, you know, a marketing plan is not hard to put together. So if a realtor comes and does a listing presentation and they don't have a marketing plan that they can at least recite to you from an elevator pitch, then that's a red flag. Yeah. Just putting it on the MLS is not enough anymore.
No, exactly.
Where you want to go from here? You want to talk about some city stuff?
Sure.
You got some current events. First, I want to talk about the lake a little bit, because it's a sore spot and messages. So we have a lake here in Portage, Crescent Lake. We are not allowed to spray it this year because of regulations around the chemicals that we would normally use to take care of the weeds. So it looks like a bit of a mess right now. We are currently investigating options to deal with that problem. So I would ask for everyone's patience. We thank you for that. It's not going to be pretty this year, and we're almost at the end of the summer. So the fact that we made it as far as we have while managing to, the lake has not looked terrible all year, is kind of a blessing.
Right.
But we should have a plan in place as we go into the fall to make sure that this is taken care of in the spring.
Yeah. Well, and as a city, we were caught off guard kind of at the 11th hour as well, because we did have the chemical. Everything was in place to spray as usual, just like every other year, to keep it looking nice, right? And we were kind of told at the last minute that we were no longer allowed to use that chemical. And so it left us in a position where we didn't have a plan B, because there was no reason we needed a plan B based on every other year. And so unfortunately, plan Bs, when you're talking about a situation like that with the size of the lake and trying to do the weed control in it, a plan B isn't just run to the store and grab a weed harvester or switch to a different chemical. You know, it's there's a lot of study that needs to go into your plan B there. So
yeah, and the weed harvester thing, like, these are not like going out and buying yourself a Ford truck. They're not just sitting on a lot somewhere waiting to be picked up and driven off the lot and taken to the lake. There's a lot more that goes into it. It's kind of like buying a fire truck. You order it to what you need, and they build it, and it takes 6 months. But I mean, we're still investigating all options.
No, and you're right. And I'm pleasantly surprised as to the condition of the lake, given the fact that it hasn't been treated whatsoever. Like you said, it does look, you know, you can tell it's looking a little rough, but I haven't noticed the smell like I had in previous years. Like, for example, when the causeway was under construction, and I don't know, I wasn't on council at the time, so I don't know the ins and outs of it, but I do understand the water level needed to come down, you know, as part of the construction or whatnot. But I do remember an aroma coming from the lake that particular year, because it was not being used and treated the same as every other year because of the construction.
Yeah. I was thinking to myself, maybe there's a chemical they use in manufacturing golf balls that actually keeps weeds under control. in which case you could be held directly responsible for how good the loop looks this year.
Well, that's true. Hey, I will tell you, last week at men's night, when you abandoned me, I got Counselor Joe Massey to come and be my partner. And he had the game of his life that night. I played well, and he still beat me. But I will tell you, I started with a golf ball, and I finished with a golf ball. And we were on the back nine. So 16, 17, 18, where I lose all my golf balls, I never lost a single one.
Well, nobody cares what you used to be able to do.
Well, speaking of golf, you are on cart duty tonight, and that is because the last time you did show up to golf, I kicked your ass. So, is that accurate?
There's a bit of an asterisk because of the snowman rule, but yeah.
Yeah. I'm very much looking forward to golf tonight. I hope the weather holds up because I do not want to miss it because of rain or thunderstorm or anything we may have in the forecast. I never even looked to see what the weather is going to be like, but it doesn't look like the nicest day out there at the moment anyways.
It's my kind of day for golf.
I hear ya.
You got some current events or some upcoming stuff?
Yeah, so I am golfing in the Central Plains Cancer Services golf tournament on Friday, and that one is sold out. So, which is great. It sells out every year. But there is another golf tournament coming up, and it is the COPP RCMP golf tournament. It is Thursday, September 5th. So I guess we would have a podcast right before that. However, it only gives you less than 24 hours notice if you're watching this podcast. So I thought I'd bring it up now. So it is at the Portage Golf Club. It starts at noon is the shotgun start, and it's fairly inexpensive to register for this one. $110 per person, and that is your 18 holes and your dinner. So if you are interested in signing up for that tournament, you can get a hold of me. I do sit on the board there, or get a hold of me, and I will point you in the right direction.
That's good. That's a good tournament too. I'm surprised it's not sold out. I'm sure it will be by the time it comes around. So get booked now.
Yep.
What else you got, buddy? What else we got to talk about here before we get into full golf mode?
Well, let's see. I went to a concert last night.
Fun.
There was a surprise for a folk type concert. There was a surprising amount of people that needed paramedics there. I'm really not sure what was happening.
Yeah, I don't know,
I've been in some pretty wild mosh pits in my life, and I had never seen people hauled out of heavy metal mosh pits like they were being hauled out of that show last night.
Yeah. I've got business related. I've got another listing on Fisher coming up, so it's going to hit the market tomorrow morning. Of course, I got Wilkinson sitting there. That'd be a nice one to sell. That is a dream home, let me tell you. We'll see what else is up. I'll be traveling around the province, way up by Langruth on Sunday.
Nice. What's up in there?
Just showings, man. Just showings.
Nice. There you go.
So we'll see what happens. And that's about it for me today.
Yeah, I don't think I have anything else on the go. Next Wednesday, we may have to adjust our recording of this for next week because next Wednesday you and I are going to Developer Day.
Oh, that's right.
Yes.
That's a big deal.
Yeah, so it's hosted by the City of Portage, the RM of Portage, and Southport. And
are you telling me that we're golfing 9 holes in the morning and then golfing another 9 holes?
Yes, we are.
Okay. All right.
And so, it's hosted by these 3 entities. And basically, it's a way for our region to showcase ourselves to potential developers, and maybe have them want to sign on to working with one of the entities in our region and get some new developments going in our city.
Yeah, that's a fun day. Look forward to being a part of that.
Absolutely.
All right, buddy, let's sign off here.
Maybe we'll have to do a 7 a.m. podcast next week.
Oh, I'm game if you are.
You know I am.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, buddy. Signing off.
We did all right for live.
We did all right for live. Maybe we'll get some live viewers next time around.
Yes. Stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
See you, everyone.